On this episode of CityView, groundbreaking. Our airport breaks ground on a new project. Clean sweep. The community comes together to give its city a facelift. And 20 feet wide. Austinites experience culture in the alley. Thanks for joining us. I'm your host, Carol Barish. Those stories and more. But first, in 2012, there were 16,687 crashes in roadway construction and maintenance zones in Texas, resulting in 134 fatalities. In recognition of National Work Zone Awareness Week, TxDOT's Be Safe, Drive Smart campaign reminds drivers to slow down, stay alert, and observe traffic signs when approaching work zones. With thousands of work zones across Austin each year, we call on everyone to make work zones safer. Mobility and safety go hand in hand.
We have a vibrant, growing city, and there's lots of needs to improve the infrastructure. We want the people to be safe who are doing that work, so that we can get it done as quickly and as safe as possible. Well, this is a representation of the 134 people who have lost their lives in work zones in the last year. In 2012, we had 0 fatalities in work zones. So that's what we've had for the last 4 years, and we're very proud of that, and we do everything we can to keep that for the future. Well, as summer comes along, now that it's getting warmer, there's going to be a lot more construction activity out on the street. So be aware, and it may be on your local street, it could be on the arterial street that you take into town, but there's going to be people out there working so that we can build a better Austin.
We were paving a road up north, and I was on a pneumatic roller, and as I was rolling the pavement, I heard a vehicle behind me, and by the time I had turned around and seen her, she rear-ended me. So, and as it was, I was the only roller on the pavement at the time, and we had a crew up in front of us that was still paving. So if she hadn't hit me, then it's highly possible that she would have ran into the pavers. And the main message is just slow down, pay attention, and don't honk, because when you honk, there's no telling which way we're going to jump.
Remember, when road work is complete, all of us benefit from safer roads and fewer delays. Air travelers to Austin will soon have access to a new consolidated rental car facility at the Austin-Bergstrom International Airport. The project starts in April and should be completed by the fall of 2015. Construction was initiated with a groundbreaking ceremony.
This project is going to have benefits for a lot of different people. It's going to allow the airport, obviously, to keep up with the growth that we're experiencing in Austin. It's going to produce more parking spaces close to the terminal for our customers. It's going to provide a more efficient operation for the rental car companies, and it's going to have a tremendous environmental benefit by avoiding a busing operation here at the airport and allowing the rental car companies to be more efficient.
In addition to the rental car facility, the project will expand public parking at the airport, resulting in an increase of approximately 900 covered short-term spaces. It's now time for our City Council update.
The Austin City Council has authorized improvements to a beloved park in South Austin. The city will enter into a construction contract for a 23-space parking lot at the Mary Moore Seawright Metropolitan Park off South 1st Street and Slaughter Lane. The parking lot will be adjacent to the off-leash dog area, a designation that was previously approved. The dog park will be the only one of its kind in the area and a highly valued amenity to the community. The council also approved the Urban Renewal Agency's sale of 16 vacant lots in East Austin to the Austin Revitalization Authority for the amount of $522,000. These lots, located on Curve, Juniper, and Waller Streets, will be developed into mixed-income housing with a minimum of 2 affordable housing units. The Austin Revitalization Authority will develop the lots in accordance with community plans and hopes to attract more visitors to the area. In addition, Council awarded a contract with Goodwill Industries for mattress collection and recycling processing services to work collaboratively with Austin Resource Recovery to reduce the quantity of mattresses and box springs being disposed of in landfills. The contractor will provide personnel, vehicles, and necessary equipment for the prompt collection and transport of these items generated by residential customers according to the bulky collection route schedule. Lastly, Council set a public hearing for May 9th to consider amendments to improve compliance, notification, enforcement, and efficiency of short-term rental regulations. In all, Council considered 107 items at its April 25th meeting. The next regularly scheduled meeting is for May 9th. For CityView, I'm Taja Beakley.
The Austin Parks and Recreation Department, in partnership with the Economic Growth and Redevelopment Services Office, announced its affiliation with the Smithsonian Institution as the first municipal park system to join the Smithsonian Affiliation's program. Harold Closter, director of the Smithsonian Affiliation's program, joined City of Austin officials at the news conference. The Austin Parks and Recreation Department and the Economic Growth and Redevelopment Services Office will bring the Smithsonian to Austin's community and create lasting experiences that will broaden perspectives on science, history, world cultures, and the arts.
Well, I think Austin is a city of great resources, of great history, of great diversity. It's a scientific community, it's a historic community, it's a community of learning. And we see in these partnerships opportunities to work with schools, work with school children, bring new ideas of education into the local community, work with our exhibits and our artifacts, and learn from each other and share with each other.
We serve over 78,000 children in our recreation programs, and so we have a ready audience for these Smithsonian exhibits and programs.
And Austinites are also starting to experience culture in the most unexpected places. 20 Feet Wide is a collaborative city nonprofit initiative that temporarily transformed a downtown alley into a vibrant public open space. A sculpture installed above the alley provided a backdrop for a series of cultural programs, food, and interactive activities for Austinites of all ages. The initiative launched an exciting conversation about the role of alleys as public space in downtown Austin.
The feedback's been very positive. Everyone's been very appreciative of all the work to put this together and stage the events, and the fact that it's been a very diverse group of people, children, families, contemporary, the adults, the creatives in Austin. So it's really been very, very positive.
The City of Austin recently held its 28th annual citywide cleanup, Clean Sweep. Clean Sweep is organized by the local nonprofit Keep Austin Beautiful, and this year's results were impressive. 4,350 volunteers who gathered 20+ tons of trash in 2 hours. The cleanups reached 31 Austin zip codes and picked up trash from our streets, schools, creeks, and parks. In addition to the obvious benefit of trash being removed from our environment, it also brings the community together for a good cause. Logistical support was provided by the City of Austin's Austin Resource Recovery, Parks and Recreation, and Watershed Protection departments, plus Downtown Austin Community Court.
Here we've partnered with Code Compliance Department. They've actually come out to help on this particular site, and I think this is their first effort at Clean Sweep, and they'll probably continue doing it. And they're a department of the city, and I think this cleanup was prompted by the fact that someone made a complaint about the homeless camp debris, and it needed to be cleaned up because it was on city land.
Austinites can organize cleanups throughout the year or participate in larger events like the Lady Bird Lake cleanups every other month. Find out about volunteer opportunities at letscanitaustin.org or keepaustinbeautiful.org/volunteer. Located on the banks of Lady Bird Lake and the Butler Hike and Bike Trail, the Sehome Intake building provided water for the iconic Sehome power plant from the 1950s to 1989. One of a handful of structures on the lake, the city is soliciting public input on future uses for the decommissioned building. In addition to public feedback, the city is hosting a design idea competition. The competition is intended to encourage all design students, design professionals, and artists to envision and articulate concepts for an adaptive reuse of the facility for park or other recreational uses.
The Parks Department and the city feel strongly that the community and residents need to come out and voice their opinion. We want to know what their ideas are, how they think the space should be used, and how the site around can be used for them as well.
Residents may visit austintexas.gov/Sehome Intake to learn more about the building, the design idea competition, and opportunities for engagement. The City of Austin, along with other local agencies and employers, recently hosted the 3rd annual Career Expo at the Palmer Events Center. Nearly 100 public and private employers were represented with some 4,000 job openings, approximately 105 of which are city jobs. A dozen city departments were at the event. Expo organizers saw nearly 3,000 job seekers. Each year, the city's Human Resources Department hosts the Expo to build a stronger community by providing opportunities for those seeking work.
We knew that there were folks that were still needing access to employers to try to either move upward or gain employment. And so we found a different venue, the Palmer Event Center, which is much larger. And this is our 2nd year here at the Palmer Event Center. And again, as you can see, the response is overwhelming.
For more information about City of Austin employment, you may visit austincityjobs.org. Austin is a special place because of the people here who do small things to make a big difference. During National Volunteer Week, we're reminded to think about spending 1 hour of time volunteering in our own communities. And as you can see, volunteers can be all ages. In partnership with Little Helping Hands, a local organization, a group of Austin families helped beautify an Austin neighborhood with just a little paint and a little time. In less than 1 hour, the team of volunteers made a tremendous impact on this part of town. And not only that, these parents are confident that volunteering as a family is teaching their children how to be more compassionate and responsible members of society. Want to contribute but not sure where to start? For example, after a major disaster, our community emergency response team plays a critical role. They need volunteers, and if you're interested in keeping Austin green, you can become a power saver or a block leader. Those are just a couple of volunteer examples. You can find more than 27 volunteer opportunities sponsored by the City of Austin at austintexas.gov/volunteer. Well, that's all for this edition of CityView. I'm your host, Carol Barish. The next episode will be May 10th. Thanks for watching.